Hello and welcome to the first episode of Cocktails with Heather. I am joined by
Joe Spiegel.
And Heather.
I am Sans Cocktail, by the way.
Heather Von Ash, Leslie Marcioni, whatever.
Pick insert last name here.
I always wanted to, do the Rosanna Dana thing for one of the really, really long intro names that they do on some of the TV shows like Family Guy or whatever.
I can probably go through all the last names if you want me to. It just takes me a minute.
Go ahead.
He's thinking about it.
Do it. Do it.
Hold on. Langell, Evers, Langell, Von Ash, Marcioni, Von Ash, Steer, Leslie. Boom. That's 8.
I thought it was Langle. I always thought it was
Almost
Langle.
have a baseball team.
I know everyone at the DMV.
and their family.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is a dating and advice show. Mostly, it's just bad advice and bad stories about bad dates.
With cocktails.
Everything is bad. So why don't you start off, Heather?
So
where do you wanna go?
the premise of this, from what I understand, is after years and years of us sitting and talking and myself becoming a little bit more loose about my advice and opinions after a couple of cocktails, we determined that it was best that I have a couple of cocktails and we get on the podcast and start giving out stories, of which I have quite a collection, and also taking in your questions and concerns and requests for stories so that we can pass out some of my very sage dating and relationship advice, which to me doesn't mean it was always successful for me necessarily, but sometimes the purpose of your life is to serve as a warning to others.
Trial and error?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
More error than trial.
More error than trial.
All right. So we do actually have some questions. So the first one is, what is your worst date?
Oh, see, this would imply that a lot of people actually took me out on what they would consider "quote unquote" dates. Most of the people I think that I've ended up together with, I already kind of knew, so that was difficult. And my husband now, I don't even know that we actually had a date until we were fully together. I don't know if Tinder hookups count as a date.
Yes.
Necessarily, they do.
Yes.
Okay, well, that was not one of the worst ones. I've got some great stories, but I think one of the ones that have always stuck out in my mind, and this poor guy, he was completely precious, and I went to high school with him. Very nice guy. Asked me out on a date once, and this was in the days before we used smartphones or anything like that. So I actually had to have a phone conversation with him to set this up, and that he wanted to go out sometime, and we finally narrowed it down to sooner rather than later. Lunch worked out better. And this gentleman did not come from a poor family necessarily, and he had a job. We were both adults at this time. Mm-hmm. And his idea of the date was we met at Denny's.
Okay.
And had lunch at Denny's.
What'd you have? Do you remember?
Did you have a Grand Slam?
I don't think I did.
What about moons over my hammy?
Moons over my hammy. No, I think I actually had the crispy chicken salad, which ironically always ends up giving me the diarrhea. So it's kind of like...
That's not a good capper to a date.
No, it's the Denny's equivalent of the Sizzler salad bar, if you will. So it's it was similar to those lines. However, I did have the date I didn't know was a date, which was interesting. Went out with what I thought was a friend. We were going to go see a movie.
Was it a setup or something?
No. I already knew this person, and it was like, hey, we should go hang out sometime. And it was probably on the drive there I realized I'm on a date, and I didn't realize that I was on a date.
Is it because of the way he set it up, like he was treating it like a date?
Yeah. As we're driving, you start actually getting like the inclination as he starts talking about like how long he's known you and how nice you are and
okay.
How he's missed hanging out with you and blah, blah, blah. And you just start getting that vibe that you're on a date. So it made things very awkward because I was starting to see somebody at that time too. And so I actually had to text him and be like, I'm not hanging out with just a friend anymore. I think I'm on a date. Because
call me, it's an emergency.
It's an emergency. Someone has died.
Call me at 9:07.
I'll start crying.
At 9:08, I'm running out screaming.
Oh my God. The horror. It was, I mean, and the funny thing for me is it's not really unheard of for me to hang out with guys because I typically have more guy friends than I have girlfriends. And I know every basic bitch says that, but the legitimate fact is I'm a dude in a chick's body. So
Yeah, you have quite a lot of guy friends.
You're one of the guys.
I basically am, and grew up around brothers, and have a great understanding of the male way of thinking most of the time. So it's completely not unheard of for me to like go and hang out with one of my guy friends or hang out with just a group of guys.
How do you deal with that when you can honestly go into a hangout with a guy not having any kind of sexual inclination with that, and the fact that a lot of guys get attached?
It's the Joe interview show.
Oh, you know what? I'm down with that because this is how
works.
this is how this comes out. Some guys
dudes get feelings. A lot of dudes catch feelings.
but they don't show it.
Every dude catches feelings. I don't care who you are. They say, "Oh, I don't catch feelings."
Yeah, they
every
say
dude
they
catches.
don't.
Okay, well,
feelings.
not every dude acts on it. So
Correct.
Okay,
That's true. Not every dude acts on it. I don't know. Maybe.
you ever had a guy that just held out for a long time, and finally he just bared his entire soul to you?
Yeah.
Oh God, how was that?
Yeah. We don't date anymore.
Did you treat it delicately, or did you just have to crush him right there at the moment?
I don't really deal with anything delicately in my entire life.
Okay.
Nothing is dealt with very. I am too bluntly honest for that. I cannot deal with anything delicately at all.
So you crushed it right then and there, nipped it in the bud.
Nipped it in the bud. Well, first I slept with him, but then I nipped it in the bud directly after that.
So you gave him a little bit of happiness, and then you broke him.
Well, you gotta throw it out there to see if it's gonna work.
Okay.
Just a
All
tip.
right.
See how it feels. and then from there, go from it. And it just the zing wasn't there. The zing was not there for me. I think it was for him. He told me that he closed down all of his dating sites, and I think he was in it for the long haul.
You're like,
and
I'm so sorry.
I burned my black book.
You should probably reopen those.
You should probably start that roster back up again. Shouldn't have arm shelved
You should have
that.
took a photocopy.
Did you save your password?
Did you save your password for that? It's
man.
www.match.com. Yeah, the dating sites were a whole different thing too. That was insane. You're giggling. You've been on the date. Have you been on the dating sites?
I've
Joe?
done the Plenty of Fish. I've done the Flirtomatic and
Wait, I'm sorry. Flirtomatic.
Flirtomatic. I had that when I had my second generation cell phone.
Did someone sell that door to door with vacuums?
No,
Like
but
the Suckalux?
It really sucked. It was bad. It was
Certainly does suck.
Yeah. The suck cut. It sucks as it cuts. So,
Sucking my soul.
sucking my will to live. Yeah, I've learned, like Mike's already learned a lot of with the POF stuff, but with me, I gave it up a few years ago because it was the same thing always. Women always, on those sites, they expect Prince Charming. They expect the perfect man to come there and save them. So he's got to have a bunch of money. He's got to be an Adonis.
Well,
right?
your blanket statement. You're using a blanket
It's almost goddamn true. So they want perfection for the most part. And then they also think that it's okay for them to have baggage, but not for the guy to have any kind of baggage. So
this goes back to shopping out of their department.
Yeah.
They're shopping out of their department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My friend, a guy that I know, he was married to a girl that I worked with, and what he would say is back of book, just like in the auto industry. Anytime you're back of book, it's a shitty car or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that's every time he's like, yeah, we got married and I'm totally back of book. She's a higher pay grade than I am, type of thing, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and it's just the women that would hit me up were always real Linda, trailer trash, carton a day smoking, just nasty, ugly women. And I'm just like, nope, I've already dealt with that before. I was married to that in a way, so I'm good.
I get the really just large women. I don't know why I attract like unhealthy, like
Jack Sprat, dude.
like
It's a Jack Sprat thing.
fucking, just morbidly obese women,
Some dudes are really into that, man.
and I am not.
It's just Dietland. That just happened on Dietland. The guy comes
Yeah,
on a
don't
date-
ruin it.
Okay, okay. I'm not really ruining it.
No spoilers for anyone.
Don't ruin my show.
But to give real Linda some props. So I actually did. So according to this, dating online thing, this was I'm right out of that generation that was super into that because I am old, very aged, not as old as Mike though, and it was a new forum for me. So when my my last engagement ended, I tried that out, and I was on Match for 48 hours and Tinder for 4 days, and I couldn't do it. I just could not do it. However, from the Tinder, believe it or not, Match, I had more creeps from Match than I did from Tinder. From Tinder, I had a couple of good prospects there, and one of them I actually was talking with, and I'm like, well, where do you live? And he tried to tell me he was in like North Natomas. I'm like, I have never heard of this before. Where is North Natomas? It's Rio Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Rio Linda. And I pointed that. I'm like, are you in Rio Linda? He's like, yeah. But he was actually super cool. So it was like, and it was hilarious. I mean, so there are good things that could come out of Rio Linda, besides people that also match my white trash accent.
But you being a woman on a dating site, I know it's got to be different than it is for, let's say, most men, the average man, right? So if you're a woman and if you're an attractive woman, you're being on there, I assume you're getting hit up constantly. Like it's just this barrage of, hey, baby, and probably dick pics and all this other shit. Because I've heard horror stories. I've heard plenty of horror stories.
I was pretty lucky. I didn't have a giant barrage of dick pics. I had one guy, when I first got on Tinder, my very good friend Amanda assisted me in logging into Tinder, but I was visiting her in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And what I didn't know is that they put you by location. This is all new to me at, I don't know, how old was I?
So they hook you up with nearby where you're at.
Yeah, so this guy was in Vegas, and, you know, talked to him very briefly, you know, text message, and then the question was, do you want to see the dick? So at this point, I should also have a sidebar here that previous to this,
you got to request it. You got to request it.
May I request a sidebar?
Yeah,
Michael,
go ahead.
Thank you. So I have for a while, because this dick pic thing was, you know, all the rage, you know, a few years ago, and this was new to me when I was newly divorced.
Yeah.
And I decided, well, if they're going to send it, why not keep them? So I started a collection of dick pics, and I just kept them on my photo album. And then when other people would get dick pics, I'd have them send them to me too. And my goal was eventually I wanted to make like pillowcases or something like that with all these dick pics that I kept. And then I ended up deleting them all at some point anyways. And so I was like, well, maybe I should start a new collection. So I did start a new collection for a while.
You don't want the current, you know, bubby to go through your phone and then accidentally see like 10,000 dicks on there and go, what the hell have I signed up for?
Well, I think it would have been awkward too if he came to my house at night, because my current husband, honestly, our first date was
just a bunch of dick pics.
Yeah, he showed up at my house at like midnight after he got off shift, because, you know, he worked late into the evening at that point. And so if he would have fallen asleep on the bed and woken up on a pillow full of dick pics, I think that probably would have been a little bit awkward for him.
But funny.
A hell of a story.
Hilarious.
That'd be a hell of a story.
Hilarious.
Have a camera going just to see his reaction when he woke up.
Just the reaction.
Okay, Joe, what's your what is your worst first date or worst date?
Do you know how many dates I've been on in my life?
No.
I have been on, I think maybe 3.
That's it.
That's it?
Dude, I am in virgin territory here. I have a lot of experience in certain things, but when it comes to dating, no. I had one date in 1998 with this girl who had a Mercedes. That went pretty good. Got ruined by my uncle because he wanted to play video games in my room and not leave when I kept giving him cues to get the fuck out, and he wouldn't leave. I had, you know...
just one more level.
Just one. Hold on.
Fuck, he just wouldn't take a hint. God damn it.
I'm almost done.
And then she had to go. She had curfew.
2 more lives.
So, there was a...
Curfew.
Okay, I got stood up. There we go. I was on POF, all right, which I call Plethora of Freaks.
Plenty of flounders.
Yeah. All right.
I
And
was never on POF, so I don't know what that is.
you're not missing anything.
No, my husband was on it for a very long time.
I talked to this girl for a couple weeks, and as usual, when I talk to a woman and she starts dialoguing with me, I get her into me very quickly because I'm very open and honest, and then they become very open and honest. And we were digging on each other, and I said, "You want to go out sometime?" No pressure. And I said, you know, and she said, "Yeah." And we can go out to eat. I said, "We'll keep it simple. We'll just do Olive Garden or something, right?" And you know, do you want me to pick you up or
unlimited breadsticks?
Yeah, or would you feel safe bringing your own car? Whatever you want to do. She said, "No, I'll meet you there." And I said, okay. And throughout the week, she asked me more than once, are we really going to go? Are we really going to do this? And I said, yeah. She goes, okay. Then on the day of the date, I get dropped from her. I get blocked on the account. She disappears completely off my feed. And I was like, what? I was like, I mean, I already knew what it was, but I've jumped to conclusions before about things with people, and I was wrong. So I didn't want to be that asshole that just assumed that she had dropped me because she, chickened out or whatever. So, but I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, just in case. So I had Mike, because he's also on POF, I had him contact her on there. She didn't respond to him. He said, here's Joe. This is Joe. You're supposed to go on a date with him. Here's the phone number, blah, blah, blah. She never contacted me. So I thought, what if her I hate this term, but baby daddy, her baby daddy that she still talks to, he knew about us going on a date. So I'm thinking, what if he talked her out of it or something like that or something? So I was trying to give her, and maybe he got into her phone and erased me from her phone. I don't know, right? Like I said, I'm trying to, be cool about it. So I go to the date. All right, well, I don't go to the date. There was no date, but I went to the...
I ate at Olive Garden by myself.
I went to the Olive Garden. I sat in my car for almost an hour. About a half an hour. Then I sat in front of the Olive Garden where all the sad people, sit out there to either smoke or, digest their food or whatever. Or, get away from their nagging wives or whatever you want to call it. And I sat there, and it got to the point where I was there for like about an hour and 15 to an hour and a half total. And I was like, damn, I've never been stood up before. Well, of course, I had never been on that many dates, but being stood up.
So what you're saying is you had a 50% success rate on dates.
You know what? Because I never dated my wife. So
But he's been on 3 dates. So.
Well, this was the second date, and he got stood up. So out of the 2 dates he was on,
I've been on 3 dates.
One of them was a failure.
And one was really was good. Didn't end as good as it should have ended. And then there was friend issues that got in the way with that one. So that first one that didn't work out for certain reasons. But the second one that I got stood up on, right? That was after my marriage. So that was about 5-6 years ago. And then it was before we were doing the show.
No, it was during the show.
Yeah, it was around the beginning of our show. So it was around 2013 or so. And then there was and then I dated a coworker. And we went on one date. Everything seemed to be cool, but then it never got any farther. I think that she had a lot of issues and she didn't want to talk about them. And so she just kind of ignored things until it finally I got the gist that we weren't going to go out again.
When I was talking to a couple people online, it was on the match before I got the creepos that, literally just sent me dick pics. I had a few of them, and I was talking with them and maybe met up with them once or twice, but it was like they were just kind of like a safety net in case the people I actually enjoyed didn't. So I think that you were a dick under glass at that point.
Yeah, I think. Oh, and that was another thing I thought of was it's all fun and games when they get this sense of comfort from just the fact that they're talking to someone and they're going to go out with them, and then when it comes to the reality of it, they're not ready or willing to even go to that next step.
It was a great fantasy.
Yeah. And then so once it became a reality, she's like, I can't. No, I'm not doing this. And then so the cowardly thing, or I guess you call it is cowardly.
Did you try sending her a dick pic?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe that would have helped at that point.
If I'm ever willing to do something like that, I'll wait till I get into my 6-pack ab body, and then because otherwise,
why wait?
Fat guy sending dick.
We will never see the dick pic.
I'm doing crunches every day.
People living around, people waiting around their entire lives waiting.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. I am aware of how I look naked and wearing tight clothes and things like that. And I've seen other people that go out in public wearing tight clothes when they shouldn't be. And I'm not going to subject the rest of the world to that.
Live for the moment. Don't worry about other people.
No. And then it's my own comfort zone. I'm not going to. Besides, sending dick pics to me is highly inappropriate. I don't like making people feel uncomfortable.
My favorite is the guys that are always with some sort of animal, whether it's a fish or a
tiger,
deer, or giraffe.
I tackled a gazelle.
Yeah, I took out a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
Here's my dick.
Yeah.
This is me diving by a hummingbird.
Here's my dick.
And a dick pic.
God,
it's a dick pic with the animal.
Always the mirror pic, the shirtless mirror pic with the freaking abs. It's just, that pic has become so cliche.
I had a bunch of people when they would contact me the continuous question was, how recent are your pictures? How recent are your pictures? How recent are your pictures?
Oh, like you're a prostitute. Yeah, that's what they do with
Well,
prostitutes.
Okay. See, I did not know this
Yep.
fact. I could have made some money.
I
now
was with
I'm
a prostitute
sad.
once, and no, well, I'm sorry, an escort,
Now I'm sad.
and it was, and I learned that her pics were probably about 10 years younger, and probably about 1,000 fucking cartons of cigarettes younger, younger as well.
Well, and I had one on there that was like, I think I had taken it like a week or two before then, like at some point. So I kept telling people, it's like, oh, those are recent pictures. And sometimes I'd hear back from them, and sometimes I wouldn't. But my husband,
But there's
on the
always
other hand,
one that comes from me. Swipe.
swipe. They,
Oh shit! Mike just swiped on me.
he had pictures on there that were probably about 8 years old. So I love to tease him about that now. Because what I got was different than the photos. So he's very lucky. He's charming.
Yeah, I don't like the sneaky ones too, where you're talking to a woman and her face, you can tell she's overweight, but her face isn't that bad. There's not a lot of fat in it. But then all of a sudden, when you get on a level with her where she's like, now you're texting and you're not on the website anymore. Now you're just doing between your own phones. And then all of a sudden, she finally sends you that full body shot, and she's like, just damn, like tank ass damn. Like I had that one time.
That happened to me.
Like she misrepresented herself. She never said that she was that big. She made herself sound like she was a lot thinner. And I'm not trying to be too judgmental because I'm a big guy myself, but there's pics of me on the internet.
If you misrepresent yourself,
Yeah.
that's one thing, and you have every right to be pissed off about
Yeah,
that.
she was like Mimi from
Carrie
from Drew Carey.
That's exact.
Yeah.
Same fucking thing happened to me.
I bet you it was the same chick.
It may have been.
Lives in
She
Tracy,
from-
California.
No, this one in Grass Valley, and this one.
So glad she was far away.
She took a picture, that angled picture, and then I don't know if she photoshopped it or something, but it was a nice picture, and so I swiped and we started talking, and she's like, "Hey, let's go out. We'll go see a movie or whatever." So we ended up going to see The Thing,
Thing prequel?
yeah, prequel, and at the drive-in.
Did you go down to the car? She's like, "What's up?
No.
Not a damn
No,
thing."
she fucking showed up in the car, and what was represented was not in the car.
Was the Axel Dragon?
Yes.
So she said she looked like Janet Jackson. Bitch got out the car looking more like Freddie Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was Joe's size, and she had like a broken, like her nose was broken. It looked like it was
So
broken.
domestic abuse.
Yeah, and like someone punched her for lying. This is what I look like. Ah. And
You're lying again.
So basically, bitch wasn't listening.
Yeah.
At one point. Okay, good.
yeah, she had two black eyes.
God, this is not going to be
Somebody
on our
already told her
compelled. I'll
twice.
tell you that.
No,
We told her twice.
yeah, I already told you twice. So we ended up going. I mean, she's a great person. She was fun. It's just that, I mean, if you're gonna lie to somebody,
Yeah.
of course, she didn't want to stay for the extra fucking movie. I was like, why are we leaving so early?
I wonder.
So we left, and she dropped me off, and whatever else.
You didn't want to take that dive, huh?
Maybe she didn't find you attractive.
Dude, there is something about an ass that hits back, just by the way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you probably would have got thrown against the wall.
Yeah, no.
So, by the way, it occurs to me that people out there don't actually know what I look like. So I could be a tank, and you could be mocking me right now. That's like entirely possible.
Yeah, but you're not a tank ass.
No.
No, tank ass.
Joe's a tank ass,
No, tank ass. When I say tank ass, a tank ass has to be someone who has a wide
Like
ass.
Nicki Minaj?
I've got a flat ass. My back is like my ass.
You have the no ass. You have the southern
I have
ass.
anti-ass. So my mom had no ass, my dad had no ass, and guess what? That equals less ass.
yeah.
So
So nothing's sitting back on you.
yeah,
It's hitting you from behind.
Yeah, and I don't like doing squats, so yeah, I'm not pumping the ass up. I'm glad though. I'd rather be a fat guy with a flat ass than a fat guy with a fucking bulbous ass. When you see fat guys with those big old and they can't walk right.
My favorite is the
Oh.
khakis up high
Ooh,
with the giant. It's not even a bunt
the
on a
pouch,
dude.
the mega
It's
pouch.
like the bick. It's not its belly, but it's not its dick. It's the bick.
The Bic.
Yeah, it's giant under there, and they've got like
The fupa.
That's called
Yes.
the camel bro.
Yes.
The
Who has
camel.
that? The mayor of the one that loved on Trump. Had the pleats in his pants.
I want to say Ted Cruz, but it's not Ted Cruz.
No, it's not Ted Cruz. It's not the Count from Sesame Street. It's it's the other guy. Yeah, it's exactly like that. That's my favorite. That is my particular favorite right there. Thankfully, I didn't have any of those that came a knocking.
Yeah, I don't want to look like that, so that's why I never wear my pants that high. Ever. Never.
You should, just for the hell of it. Like, if we ever actually go to one of these conventions, you should fucking
I've done it.
dial it in like that.
I had one of those spinny top hats.
Yeah.
And
just going with the moose knuckle and everything.
And I had like this goofy face thing mask, and I pulled my shorts all the way up to my tits, and I walked around with sticking my stomach out, going. Right, I've done that before.
That's really
It gets
really
a lot.
creepy.
It gets a lot of laughs. It really does.
We've all done that.
And then if you put also, I've done this thing where I'll do that.
But have you done it in public?
I'll put Oreos in my mouth and chew them up until they're all in my teeth, and then I'll go, "Come here, Ma!" and I'll start chasing people and like, "Give them a kiss," and yeah, it's hilarious.
No, chasing people. Substitute kids. His kids.
It's people I know that I'm chasing.
And that's how he got his first stint in jail.
It's always with people that I know. It's never been with a stranger because, you never know how a stranger's going to react to that shit.
That's the best part. That's how Impractical Jokers was born.
And that's
you
how
in the
fat
moose
people
knuckle.
get shot.
Yeah, kick you in the moose knuckle.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that is famous enough now that you figure people would notice them and know that they're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
you can feel it, dude. I mean, when my shit's riding up too high, I know that I've got something like that. So I always make sure my shit's not anywhere near there. So if I can
Some
feel
guys like it.
that's yeah.
It's like wearing women's underwear.
I don't even like wearing women's underwear. I don't know why other people would.
Some guys just like to do that, like Marv Albert
Or Ed Wood.
or Ed Wood.
Would.
All right.
So what do we got?
So what's the next question? Masturbation during a relationship.
Oh. Yes, this was asked by, I think someone wrote this one in. I think the question actually is how do you jerk off during a relationship, and if so, how often? I guess it really depends on the relationship. I can't speak for... First, my question was, you mean like the dude? Like for dudes? Or like chicks? And was supposed to be chicks. So I guess it really just depends on the relationship. But, for me personally, if I had to answer it from my own experience, I'd say in past relationships it's been a lot more frequent than it has been lately, especially in my last previous relationship. There was not a whole lot going on in the sex department.
Right.
So that ends up becoming a self-service organization in and of itself. But currently I haven't really had the time or the energy to do that with 4 kids dragging behind me and a horny husband. But I think, generally speaking, that can happen. But you do enter points in relationships, I think, where you just are not even interested in it at all. Like, you would almost rather cut off your own arm than think about having sex because you're so exhausted or just so put off by the whole thing.
Have you ever been in a relationship where you crave intimacy and the other person never gives it in any way whatsoever? Unless you spend money on them.
Okay, well, that's just actually a gold digger. I have not been in a relationship personally such as that, even though I've lost copious amounts of money in various relationships and divorces. But I think with me, because of the type of person I am, generally it's probably me lacking the intimacy than it is the other person.
Well, you said you're very candid. You're very open and honest about shit.
Yeah, and I am. I mean, I do lack that. I just, again, function a lot more like a dude.
Yeah.
So I'm cool. With you over there on the couch,
Yeah.
I'm fine. And I don't need a whole lot of touching.
Yeah.
And on there, I don't mind cuddling in bed as long as I don't get too hot. And if your arm's underneath my neck, you're going to need to move before I fall asleep. Like, that's legit. Like, oh, this is sweet. Go the fuck over there. Yeah. And then I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, fuck off to the other side.
Fuck off to the other side of the bed. I can't even deal with this shit anymore.
You don't like you're not into the clinger shit.
The what?
Clinger.
No, I can't. I can't do that. I already have kids, and that's enough.
Yeah.
They hang on to me enough. Thanks very much. Drive through. But I think it isn't so much that of like, I think it's maybe a motherhood thing when you get to that point, or maybe you just are really fucking sick and resentful of the other person that you are just good with them not touching you ever at all.
Yeah.
Like, you would rather do anything besides have sex. So there's that too. So you can be in those types of situations, and then you don't even masturbate because you're not even interested in it.
You're closed off. Like just
Nope. Do not even care. Now, when it comes to dudes, I mean, having a lot of guys who are friends and stuff like that, I've always accepted that was just
I'm doing it right now.
part and parcel, right? Part and parcel to it. We're not videoing you.
up
thank God.
here. Up here. I already finished.
I already finished. It's already done.
You know, for me,
It's a different feel. It's a different feel.
At the beginning of the relationship, like say my marriage, or no, I'll go back to my first girlfriend. My first girlfriend before my marriage.
I thought you only had like 3 dates.
Dates are one thing. Okay. Oh wait, my first girlfriend. We did go on a date. God
Yeah.
damn it.
You're a liar.
Well, dude, I don't always remember everything. So my first girlfriend, we were together for 4 months, and before I broke up with her, right the day before prom. And
Classy.
I know. I used the excuse of having mono and strep throat at the same time to break up with her.
And
So,
AIDS.
I'm still going strong, thank God. You know, if I did have AIDS back then. So, I don't think I masturbated one time during that whole 4-month relationship. I'm not saying I didn't. I'm just saying I don't recall. I was because it was my first time having a relationship, first time being intimate with someone physically. So I think I was so wrapped up in that and just the constant making out all the time and all that other shit that I don't recall. I really don't. Now, my marriage, different thing.
Did you have to get one out in the morning before you got in the shower?
No.
I have a friend that has to do that every morning. Every morning before he showers. He has to rub one out.
Yeah, spit the poison.
I noticed that during my marriage, I was being broken down. My masculinity was being broken down more and more every year. And I think it got to a point where I didn't have much of a sexual drive because she was never giving it away anyway. She was always gone all the time. So she was always giving it to someone else. So
That's the worst too when it comes to down to a relationship where you have one person that has a high sex drive and one person that doesn't.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't work.
And so I kind of, I mean, the urge was still there, but I couldn't get anything from her, and I had kids to take care of, and
No time. You're tired by the end of the night.
yeah, I'm the one that was working all the time while she was out driving around having fun doing drugs and shit. So
God, it sounds like a great time.
oh yeah, see what I mean? How I haven't been on that many dates. I lost a whole decade to that. So I know that at some point during my marriage, I did start like hiding a couple pornos that I bought. Like, okay, you know the rule is never shop for food when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Also, never shop for porn when you're horny.
Oh.
Because I bought a $35 porno and I totally regretted it right after I broke it in.
I'm sure the storyline was amazing.
I got it. What was it?
Fry's Electronics had the greatest porn selection because, and this is the one off of
Northgate?
Northgate.
Yeah.
So you, when it used to be Incredible Universe.
Yeah.
You walk in there and you walk past their door greeters or whatever, and it seems like there's like 5 of them there. Hi, how you doing? Good.
Just here for
how
porn.
you doing?
Just here for porn.
Yeah.
And all of them are saying, "So how can I help you?"
Direct me to the porn.
Yeah. Porn.
It's
Yeah,
supposed to be in a black bag.
It's 10 feet. It's 10 feet to your right as soon as you walk in. And they have these huge kiosks where it's just every fucking video ever. And then all the porn that you need. All of it.
So basically, you had it set down to paces,
Yeah. It was
like
literally
enter
10.
door for like an old gold treasure map, 40 paces to the left.
Yeah. But it
2
was really
paces to
weird
the
because,
right.
like,
Yar.
I had gone in there with a friend.
Where's the midgets?
And we were motoring around. And
Motorboating?
And there was a DVD that I was looking for specifically, and
Anal
Kumquats in my
Busters Part
anus?
6.
yeah, butt plugs.
Cooking with kumquats?
Yeah, but there was it was just I think it was actually Hard Boiled, the action movie. Long story short, so I'm wandering down the aisles and they don't have anything labeled.
Yeah.
That was the best part of it. So it doesn't say adult videos. It'll say like on the shelf in and of itself, but it doesn't say it on anything where it says adult video and it's just accessible for everybody. So it doesn't matter. So you're just walking up and down the aisles and all of a sudden you're just hit with like 6 hours of black dick.
Oh my God.
All the cock you'll ever need.
Yeah. And I'm like,
6 feet of black dick. I was actually looking for a 10-foot cord. Like, how does that? I'm in the wrong aisle.
I don't really think I need 6 hours of blacks on blondes.
And watching porn actually that's I think a single person thing, because watching porn in a relationship. Okay, now and I will say
I tried it a couple times.
I've talked to people who do it and it's very successful.
Yeah.
But the type of person I am, I cannot do it constructively with another person in the room because I am absolutely compelled to make fun of every single fucking scene that they come out with.
But that's okay. That's the part. It's
not sexy.
That's the enjoyment of it.
So you
It's
can
not
have
sexy.
you can have a sense of humor when having sex.
Yes.
That goes back to my lift thing. I mentioned she farted in the middle of sex, and she farted so loud and wet sounding
You
that
should probably not.
it turned me off.
You should probably not.
You can edit it out.
I really don't want to.
Okay.
No.
So you should probably edit yourself and
Yeah.
not talk about companies you worked for
A driving establishment.
at all.
A ride sharing.
Do not
Can you
mention
bloop
companies
that out?
by name.
Can you bloop that out, Mike?
I'm gonna have to cut it out.
Yeah, just cut just the bloop out.
Yeah. All I'm going to
Just bloop
say
it.
is that I lifted her up very well.
Don't say anything. How about
I lifted her spirits really well.
how about you
Lifted her to
shut
the
the fuck
Lord.
up?
To the Lord. The Lord. Well, yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, there's actually been situations where
And I had to keep from laughing.
well, the
and it killed
there's
my
been
boner.
gentlemen that I have been with that we're laughing hard enough that they can't
Who hasn't farted during sex?
perform.
Well,
I don't know.
I know, but it was a stranger, so it was.
At least as a chick, you can bite off as a queef.
It just, dude,
that's true.
she didn't even react to it. It was
fact.
like, it was like, and it was, she didn't react to it at all. She just kept going through the motions. And
She was hoping you wouldn't notice.
well, I think she was just enjoying herself too much. She was just letting it all out. So,
Quite literally.
Yeah.
and so I laughed. I had to keep from laughing so hard. It just, it totally killed my boner. It really did.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. This last cocktail,
A little strong.
sister-in-law made a little strong here. I'm pretty sure it's actually direct gasoline.
Oh, cool.
It's just been poured in. If it wasn't for the fact that I bought the vodka, I would assume it was just White Wolf
Vodka.
charcoal filter in San Jose.
Plastic vodka.
I can't drink that. That's like what our brother used to drink.
So yeah, I think that a sense of humor during sex can be really good. I can totally see that about wanting to make fun of porn when you're watching it.
Yeah, I
'Cause
can't.
I've laughed plenty of times at porn. So
It's terrible. Most of it's terrible. Even when they try to have really, really good stories, it doesn't work. I have to read it. I have to read porn, like the erotic stories, and not the bullshit that my sister-in-law reads, these like historical romance craps.
yeah.
Of like, oh, the captain took her by the waistcoats into his arms and lovingly pressed against her. No, I can't do that shit either.
General Napoleon was just the right height to go
No,
down on me.
it's just straight up the plumber pissed in my mouth. As long as it's written out,
Yeah.
that's fine. Like I just can't. Like
pissed in my mouth.
if I watch it, I'm just gonna make fun of it. Like the whole thing.
Yeah, he
like
wrote a
the
root her.
scenes, the carpet,
the
throw
fuck up.
pillows. Goddamn puns.
I know.
He rooted her. Oh God. No, I can't. I just can't do it. It's too hilarious for me. It's not even enjoyable. So that's the tough part. Is like I don't know.
Yeah, it is hard trying to get into a fantasy when the acting is really bad. It's just
Who the fuck pays attention to the acting in porn?
I'm into seduction. Okay, I love foreplay. Foreplay is fucking awesome. Foreplay can be almost just as good as the act itself.
Again, who the fuck pays attention to the plot in porn?
Well, that's
I
the
try
difficult
to
part.
because I'm looking for the story, and if the story's not there, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I
interested.
don't need them to go to Disneyland and go to dinner first or anything like that. But like two hot chicks hanging out, and all of a sudden one's seducing the other one, and there's actual storyline like they were best friends or something, and you're like, oh, right, this is interesting. And
No,
then,
it's not.
We're stepsisters, and we're not supposed to be doing this.
but but then all of a sudden the acting becomes so bad that I can't buy it anymore. I can't fall.
By
fall
that time,
into
I'm
the-
lost.
I can't fall into the fantasy, and it's just like, god damn it!
That's what the fucking mute button is
you
for.
flubbed your lines.
And that's why internet porn has been fantastic.
Yeah.
You can just look something up. But
Yeah,
of
you don't
course,
have to
I will
spend
start down
$35
the
on
rabbit
a
hole.
goddamn porno.
No. I start down the rabbit hole because I start with like I'm just going to look up porn, and then
Here-
it turns out it was like Swedish gangsters like
Here's the
eat
problem.
chocolate chips. I don't know.
Here's the problem with internet porn. So, yes, I am on a porn site.
Well, that's not what I'm tripping on, man. I'm just hoping that eyes don't turn away from what they're looking at.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
Probably
looking
looks
for
at it,
a
so.
specific
Really? Because there's a lot. Is that a MILF one? Aunt catches nephew.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
Okay.
teen
see.
thing is huge.
So, just sidebar. So I buy a lot of like really terrible raffle prizes for a club that I'm in, and we do raffles, and it's like really disgusting crap. And one time I went to this really shady place and found a bunch of like porn books. So not like the magazines, like the books with like the stories in them. It was one of those 3-packs where you've got like a book,
Okay, yeah,
and then like another book like sandwiched in between. And they always put like the weird shit in between. I found over the years, like even in the magazine things, it's like, oh hey, look, it's a penthouse and it's a Moncherie, and then you have like jugs in the middle. But it was kind of like that. It was like 2 like porn books. I was like, oh okay, this is a pretty good deal. And when I got it and I broke it open, the one in the middle was about incest. So I couldn't really give it away in the raffles, so I like toted around this book of like about incest. So like every time I like moved or every time I dug into the porn box,
Who's into
like, I
family
had this-
fun?
Right. And so finally I just gave up and I gave it away as a raffle prize, but I think I like packaged it with like some Mad Dog 2020 and a thing of hand sanitizer.
It's
So
all
like you
relative.
could like cleanse yourself afterwards with it.
So
I don't
all
know
right.
what happened to
My
that book.
my uncle
Hold
was
on.
into that shit.
So the problem with any of these website
Was that the same
porns-
cock blocking uncle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there's more stories here that we
He-
can't. I'm not a licensed therapist, Mike.
he would read those kind
Well-
of porno things where it didn't have no pictures in it. It was just stories, and he had a few books that were family stories.
Yeah.
And
He probably got him in a 3-pack. I'll be honest with you. He probably just ended up with him in a 3-pack.
Yeah.
he read them.
Because that is how I ended up with my incest.
he
book.
was one of those people that would spend 3 hours in the bathroom because it took him forever to finish. So,
Yeah. Well, your uncle. Anyways, so here's the problem with online porn. What they do is they cut these down into 5-minute pieces, and then
I want you to
they're-
click to their site. Yeah.
No, they cut it down to 5-minute pieces, and the problem with that is that half the time the video's not the full scene, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But that's not just the problem. So we're on one of the pages. Her name is Dillian Harper.
Yeah.
And if you go through, she has in this case she has like 1,500 videos. Of those 1,500 videos,
There's like 5 videos and it's just pieces of them.
like 90% of them are the same video.
Yeah.
Well, I'm noticing that she has the same striped socks in many of these teasers.
So
Was that a examination glove? I think it was.
where?
Doctor's glove to the right. My right.
Yeah. She's seducing her doctor.
Okay.
So
He's like, I've smelt plenty of those that smell like fish.
Doctor or Dictor.
yeah. So if you go through and well she seems to have most of her videos are not the same. But if you go through like some of the more popular ones, like most of the videos it's the same damn scene and it's just plastered on here all the time. It's kind of annoying.
Well, do you know why I really don't care? Because I'm only on these things for 10 minutes at the most usually, so I'm good. So it didn't really bother me. Because I'm not...
If you're looking for a specific actress,
well, that's...
you find one that you like, then you're like, I'm going to click on her name and then see what else she has. That's what most people do.
I know,
And then you're
that,
like,
yeah.
oh, she's got like 3,000 videos and
yeah.
2,500, 24, you know,
Let's just say 100 videos.
2,899 of them.
Yeah. And
I think
the same
95
fucking
of them,
scene.
yeah, 95 of them are the same damn movie.
One of the best gifts I think that anybody ever gave as a white elephant gift was a VHS tape porn, and it was already a few minutes in, and the person opened it up, and the guy who gave it looked at him and like pointed at it and says, "That's when I came." So it was just still there.
Please forgive me for asking, but what is the white elephant gift?
Oh, the white elephant gift. That's where you have like joke gifts that you give people.
Okay.
So like such things as a toilet seat or a dried piece of shit.
Or like the rubber rooster.
Yeah, or the shake weight. Anything along these lines. It could be very various things, and everybody brings one. They don't label them, and then you draw a number, and everybody just gets one. And sometimes you can trade. Best stories of some of the white elephant gifts were the VHS tape that was stopped for years, I believe, at the spot where that gentleman came. Our brother Mark.
Continue the
and
story.
I went to a church white elephant gift party when we were teenagers. not our church. Obviously, we are not church goers.
What church is this?
Yeah, Church of the Devil.
The Love Guru.
We showed up to that, and a guy in a wheelchair got a Jane Fonda workout video. The things like that we find particularly hilarious that maybe some other people don't. But yeah,
The midget working at Walmart.
Or I don't
Yes.
know, or like
Working checkout at
a
Walmart.
guy with Parkinson's gets a Richard
shake weight.
gets a shake weight.
gets a shake weight or fucking or a video of Richard Simmons shaking to the 80s or something.
Exactly. And I never had the midget
Or
checking
a martini
me out at Walmart.
shaker.
Yeah.
Like I'm shaken, not stirred.
Yeah.
I never had the midget check me out at Walmart, but I did have the guy that had his hands on backwards
Oh yeah.
one time.
There's also there was also that guy that Mark liked when every time he scanned it at him, he go.
He had his sound effects.
Yeah, he had his sound
Yeah.
effects.
I love doing sound effects when I do shit in life. Sometimes I forget. One time someone called me out on it. It was last week. They go, I was playing with my kids in the store. We were grocery shopping, and I did this thing where I ran up to him and I kneed him in the chest, like a ninja, and like a big fat ninja. And I forgot to go, whoosh, which I normally do. And she goes, "You didn't make the sound effect." This lady is walking by in the chip aisle. "You didn't make a sound effect." I go, "Oh, you're right. God damn it." So I had to overcompensate after that.
Okay.
The checker with the hands on backwards, though, was...
Hands on backwards.
Well, they had, like, flipper hands.
Uh-huh.
And they put them out at the check stand out by the tire shop car repair. And I'm sure it's because nobody goes through there. Except for because nobody goes through there, then that means that...
It's like Zoidberg trying to pick up a glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, hey, this would be a great
Whoa.
idea. My ex-husband's like, we're going to go through this area. And we had like a 100-quart ice chest full of fishing stuff and camping bullshit. And he checked them all out one by one on his tiny little thing and then was trying to open the little plastic bags with his little flipper hands. And it was probably the worst experience of my life. And it was very difficult because not only did I have to sit there and watch it, but I also had to not laugh at it while it was happening.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's a fucked up situation.
Once in a Walmart in Susanville, our brother Mark and I got to watch a lady beat her kid with a fly swatter. Does that help you?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Of course, it's funny to hear about it. Seeing it in person,
Oh, no, we laughed.
Oh yeah, no, it's hilarious.
was it?
No, it was hilarious.
It still came off comically. Okay.
And there was a bagger that looked just like Sloth from the Goonies. And he turned around and just stared at me because he saw it before I did, and I hadn't seen it yet. And all of a sudden, he's just staring at me, and I go, "What?" And he goes, "Not a goddamn word. Don't say a goddamn word." Ruth. Exactly. Maybe Ruth. So. And that's why I'm going to hell.
Or when he would this has turned into the Mark podcast for some reason, but when we went into the Walmart close to your place,
Okay.
and we were walking around, and he stumbled upon two people that were dressed exquisitely, like tuxedo,
Okay.
and she had like a fur coat,
Okay.
and like I don't know if she had real diamond rings or fake diamond rings. Anyways, so we're just wandering through Walmart, and then all of a sudden Mark spots them, and when he fucking zeroes in on somebody, he gets like tunnel vision, like laser sighted tunnel vision,
Yeah.
and will go and fuck with them. And what he would do is, and I couldn't be around him when he did that.
Because you couldn't keep your shit.
I
yeah.
can't keep my
You
shit.
can't get your shit together. No.
And he literally walked right up next to them. This is after work, Christmas time, I think, because we had to pick something up or somebody. Yeah, it was Christmas time.
He's probably doing his last minute Walmart and 7-Eleven Christmas shopping.
Yeah, and because we had to go from your place to there to pick up the cake,
Oh,
The Christmas
the
cake.
shitty Christmas cake.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
and we couldn't find it, or we weren't there yet. Anyways, he zeroed in on these two fucking people. And being as fake as they were, Mark just sat there because they were looking at coffee makers. And every time they would say something, he would respond to them, but he would look at the coffee maker and point at it and pretend he was having a conversation with me. So he would say something like, "I really like this coffee maker." And Mark would point and go, yeah, and wait for the guy to respond, and then he'd turn to me and would like have a fucking conversation with that guy while trying to talk to me, and I couldn't handle it because all he was doing was just snippy remarks and this fucking coffee machine's a piece of shit. I couldn't handle it. And he followed them around fucking Walmart
Like it's like Secret Security.
for 15 minutes. He would just end up in the same aisle as them.
Somehow we got from masturbation to coffee makers.
Yeah.
I just want to point
Why,
that out.
Sometimes this
we,
shit
we,
just goes.
we could tie it all together.
Masturbating into your coffee maker?
Do you remember what I told you about how we plan sometimes just to do 15 minutes and it ends up going for way longer?
We could tie it all together
My first podcast, people, sorry.
with the treasure that you found.
Oh, that made
A
her almost
while
spit
back.
up her freaking drink, dude. I gotta know.
The treasure.
What's the treasure?
I don't know. The treasure that I found. Which treasure?
Which
That I
time?
found? Which time?
Mark's treasure.
Oh, God. No, you want me to say that on the air?
No,
Oh,
you don't have to.
because we can. I don't know. Laura, is that okay?
Laura knows about it.
If we talk about the treasure that we found in your bathroom closet?
I thought you found it on top of the refrigerator.
No. It was inside their closet. So
There's
cleaning
nothing
up-
wrong with it. It's fucking
it's
hilarious.
natural.
I've
People
done
do it.
ride sharing at night with the freaks of the Sacramento Valley, so I've heard everything. I'm good. I can hear it. I can take it.
So cleaning out my dead brother's house, and we're going through a bathroom closet, and behind acres and acres of shittily done tablecloths and napkins that I don't think that my family's used in eons, we all of a sudden come across this large gold thing, and my sister-in-law goes, "What is this?" And she stares at me as she's standing on a ladder, and I'm like, "I don't know what the hell it is. This is your fucking house. How the fuck do I know what it is?" And she's like, and then all of a sudden she starts laughing. I'm like, "What are you laughing at?" And she points, and she can't even like keep it together enough to actually like tell me what it is, and I have to read it. It's a fleshlight. And we both agreed that
golden
generally,
one?
yeah, it was
Golden
golden. It was golden. That this would be something that normally one of us would have known about.
Hail to the king, baby.
Because kind of like how I am, my brother was pretty open and honest about that kind of stuff. So he would obviously have generally said something. So my first guess was that he probably got it as a joke gift, or maybe it was something that he bought drunk one
Well,
time.
he was in the
and-
car business.
he was, and I refused to smell it, so we didn't investigate it. But needless to say, we threw it right out. However, now hindsight, always 2020. I really wish that I would have packed it along with some of the
Like he did?
sentimental value things that I packed up in boxes for Mike, so that he could have just opened that at some point and found just a fleshlight in there.
Here's the text from 127. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you. Laura and I were cleaning top of bathroom closet, and she found a fucking fleshlight. Not kidding. We couldn't figure out what was first.
You should leave that around the house like Mr. Bean and just pops up
Well,
occasionally.
that reminds me.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the story. So there's a guy. This is after I was working at an auto dealership, and no names. So this guy had ordered something online and had it shipped to the dealership. Well,
Didn't want the wife to know?
Evidently.
apparently not. So somebody got it into their head to find out what was in the package.
Okay.
So they walked into his office and
If it's a severed head, I'm going to be very disappointed.
opened it up. No, it was like a fucking 10-inch dildo.
Yes.
Double-sided?
I don't know.
Please
Double-ended?
tell me it's suctioned to the floor.
I don't know. All I know is
Drop it
that
like it's hot.
all I know is that it's they took it out and put it on his desk
Yes.
and then left. And then he came back and he started yelling, "This isn't mine!" It's the Austin Powers thing.
This is not mine.
Cause
baby.
more attention to himself.
Yeah, this isn't mine. I don't know where I got this.
Where'd this
I mean,
come
I don't know
from?
where it came from.
It's okay, dude.
The
It's
best
all right
thing
if
to
you
do
need to
is
each
just go in and laugh it off,
And
dude. That's the best
Own
thing
it.
to
and
do.
then,
Like,
like,
oh,
dude-
thank God this has arrived. I've been waiting. Shipping was delayed.
Don't touch my wife's birthday present.
Yeah,
Or something,
exactly.
right?
Why are you opening up my shit?
That's for my mom.
My grandma's going to be pissed.
Yeah, so that happened. Of course, the can of tuna that was left in Wayne's office.
Yeah, my kids did that once. They opened up a can of tuna.
Can't
Or
do that.
they only partially opened up a can of tuna and then put it back in the cabinet. because they were distracted. And over time, the closet started getting a little bit of smell, then more. And all of a sudden, we started seeing maggots. And then I'm like, I go, what the fuck? And I started going through cans, and I find this can with the freaking maggots. I'm like, who did this?
All right. Well, this entire episode's breaking down into
So
Cans of maggots.
yes.
maggot cans, tuna.
So for more,
Yeah. Oh. So the first 4 episodes of Cocktails with Heather are going to be made available free. After that, we're going to be putting them up on Patreon. We haven't really decided the tiers yet, but I can tell you this. There's going to be a $1 tier, and the $1 tier will get you everything. And I think we're just going to stick with the $1 tier, but there's going to be a couple of others that are going to be specific, special. You don't have, it's something that we've been working on, but we haven't gotten all parties' permissions yet. So the $1 tier will allow you access to all the podcasts, exclusive, behind the scenes, blah, blah, blah. If you don't care about that and you want the podcast free, 5 days after we post the podcast up on Patreon, they will be free, but they will have this annoying Patreon thing at the beginning of it. Plus, if there's any ads or anything else like that, we'll try to keep the ads down to whatever, but sometimes we don't have any control over YouTube and some of the other stuff. So,
And we'll be adding on subliminal messages by me telling you that you have a small penis.
yes, and to subscribe at the 18,000 kilohertz level. So, anyways, look for a couple of Average Joes on Patreon at some point here in the next couple of weeks, and you'll find some more information about what we're doing and the special tiers that you can pay for, and that money will go to specific causes. All right.
all right. It's your show. You got to end it.
Oh, well, thank you for joining. And, this was just a introduction, and I understand that we're all kind of getting used to this format and questions. Hopefully, as we get some more questions in from people and some more stuff, you guys can hear a little bit more interesting deets on some of my past experiences, and hopefully I can answer some of your questions as to what not to do.
Yeah, so go fuck off over there.
All right.
All right, Cocktails out.